guys, it's Selena. Welcome back to my channel, and today it's going to be a super fun video because I'm going to be reading my most anticipated read of the year, and that is A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. I actually only read the first and second book back in September for the first time, so I've only been waiting like a month and a half for this book, but like I wanted this book to come out so bad. How can you not, after the events that took place in the Ballad of, I almost said a Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. Ballad of Never After, that ending is like, I've never read an ending like that before. I have heard a few different things about this book, which I'm actually kind of glad I heard some negative reviews because it definitely lowers my expectation. So honestly, I could end up liking it a lot more than I ever intended to in the first place. But nevertheless, I am extremely excited to jump into this book. I do have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition here, and it is beautiful. Look at under the dust jacket. Like, are you kidding me? It says The Ballad of the Archer and the Fox because it's pretty much a retelling of The Archer and the Fox. It's pretty much that in a retelling with different characters. You're learning that story while you're also learning the retelling of that story, which is this trilogy, which I think is so fascinating. And I think however this book ends, if things are left open, I almost want to say she does it on purpose because it would have that fairy tale-esque vibe to it where there are pretty much an endless amount of possibilities or certain ways that the story could go, but just like a tale that is retold and retold and retold, the ending gets changed nearly every single time. So I think that is really cool, and if the story ends like that, I will be very impressed. I've kind of been in like a yearly reading slump just because of school and college and everything, but I am officially on winter break now and I could not be more excited. I have so many fun videos planned and reading vlogs planned. I have 2 series that I'm going to make into 2 separate videos for you guys. Yeah, let's go put together that annotation key. Hey guys, so it's a little bit later and I've made a little bit of progress. I just wanted to update you on what's going on so far. So I'm currently on chapter 4. I'm about to go into Apollo's point of view because I did forget that this book is dual point of view. So we get Evangeline's point of view and Apollo's point of view because of the crazy cliffhanger and events that took place in the Ballad of Never After. This video is going to be spoiler filled, so just another warning. Evangeline did lose all her memories at the very end of the Ballad of Never After. So now we get this Evangeline who has no idea where she is, no idea who Apollo is, no idea who this Jax, mysterious Jax person that she keeps being told about from Apollo, who just keeps saying that he's a monster. He's the one that took her memories. He's this terrible person. And because Apollo's a prince, he is pretty much saying, I need everyone to go out and find Jax and kill him. I mean, that's pretty much all that's really happened so far. Evangeline doesn't know where she is, who she is, and everything. But there is something I found really interesting. I don't know if this is correct, but on page 22, chapter 3, this man comes in to see her, and he's dressed as a doctor, but he's not really actually one of the doctors, and he hands her a card. He says, "I'm sorry for the loss of your memories. If you would ever like to talk or perhaps answer some questions, I might be able to fill in a few blanks for you." And the name of the card is Christoph Neitlinger. That's either the reporter or somebody in like a higher class. It's currently 11:23. I'm gonna keep reading and I'll update you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so it's the next day. I don't remember if I gave you a final update from yesterday, but I did end up getting to only chapter 8, which is on page 78. I do plan to read a good amount tonight. I have been playing the guitar for the past like 2 hours. My current song is Safe and Sound by Taylor Swift. I've been playing it so far. Right, so pretty much all that's really happened so far is that she wants to go find this reporter guy, but she also wants to go to like somewhere else in like the castle, but it's like outside of the castle grounds. So like Apollo like set up these like guards in front of her door, and they're not allowed to let her pretty much leave, even though Apollo said to her like, "I will not keep you capped, like you won't feel like a prisoner," even though that's kind of how everyone is treating her. However, that's exactly how these guards are treating her, and she finally gets past the guards and go to Apollo's little area because some other guard like came in and was like, "Okay, I'll take you." Apollo's talking to this guy called Garrick of the Greenwood, and he's the leader of the Guild of Heroes, and they're still trying to look for Jax. So I guess one of her handmaids told Apollo about Evangeline's scars, the heart scars from Jax on her wrist, and that like ties them together. So they think that they'll be able to use her blood to track down Jax. She's like, "I'm not giving you my blood." And then this guy's bird like nipped her shoulder and took her blood, and Apollo didn't even care. He was all like, "Okay, whatever." I mean, I don't really like Apollo. I never really liked Apollo, but like Jax is terrible. But Jax. Now I'm on Apollo's chapter, so that's great. So I'm gonna keep reading and I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Please tell me I'm not the only one who loves listening to jazz music while reading. It is so relaxing. Like I'm not good with like listening to music while reading. When the music has words in them, like I just get too distracted. Definitely if it's like a song that I know and like, but just like, and I guess any instrumental music works, but like jazz, I don't know jazz. I don't really know a lot about jazz. I don't know anything at all about jazz, but I just look up reading jazz music on Spotify. It's just so relaxing. I'm gonna get reading now because it's been like 30 minutes since I made that last clip. TikTok. Guys. I think it's Jax. Okay, so like there, she got this note that was supposedly from her tutor that said go to like this wishing well in this wishing garden type thing here or whatever. And so she went to this well, and I guess she got like new guards and they were following her, but it started getting really foggy, so to the point where she could barely see just a few feet in front of her. And so she's like, what if I try to get them away? Like maybe that's what the tutor or what this note intended for her to actually do, get away from the guards. And so she makes it to the well, and like her guards aren't following her. And in the note it says, if I'm not there in time, don't be scared to make a wish, you know, just make a wish. And she starts thinking like, okay, maybe the note wanted me to actually look at the well. Like maybe there was something inscribed on it. See, she gets really close. Somebody pushes her from behind and she falls into the well. She's like crying out for help, and then this man, Evangeline, someone called, the voice sounded male and unfamiliar. Evangeline. And then he gets her. He picks her up and gets her out. Evangeline continued to shake, but her rescuer held on to her like a promise he intended to keep. And then she finally gets to look at him, and it says, he was a beautiful inhuman, a warrior angel with blue eyes and golden hair, and a face that made Evangeline think that writing poetry should be her new hobby. He almost appeared to be glowing and made her wonder if he was right, if maybe she was really half dead and he was an angel taking her to heaven. If that's not Jax. Blue eyes and golden hair. That's literally the definition of Jax. I love Jax. It's just, he's Jax. I feel like you can't hate him, even though you're supposed to hate him, but you're also not supposed to hate him, so we automatically root for them, even though he's done terrible things. I'm gonna keep reading because... tell me that I was gonna get a Jax point of view. I'm on chapter 11, page 98. 98 pages. We're just getting a Jax point of view. Oh my god. Hey guys, so I'm actually about to go to bed. It's already almost 2 in the morning, and I'm currently on to chapter 17, page 136. That's where I am gonna stop it for tonight. We are gonna open up my advent calendar for yesterday because I didn't do number 10, and then when I wake up tomorrow, we'll do number 11. This is how much I do have quite a bit left, but my plan is to finish this tomorrow because I have tomorrow and Tuesday off. And then I could start back up work on Wednesday through Sunday. I gave myself Monday and Tuesday as complete free days. I do have an exam to do tomorrow, an exam to do on Tuesday. Other than that, I have no plans. So I tend to read. And so here's the past 5. Hey guys, so it's been a little bit since I last updated you, but I have made some progress in the Curse for True Love. As you can see, the tabs have definitely grown. I am currently on page 230, chapter 29. I'm definitely liking it so far. It's definitely not as good as the first or second book. I feel like it would be nearly impossible to top Ballad Never After because it was just impeccable, but I am enjoying this one so far. We have had some interesting things happen so far, so I have been reading a lot of this throughout the day today, but I haven't really had a lot of time to just like sit and read because there's been a lot of like distractions in the background. So I have been trying to like retain the information, but I definitely have been reading slower because of that. So a few things that have happened is that Evangeline has almost gotten killed like 3 different times, and there was this man who like went into her room and like tried to kill her. Then Jax comes and like saves her and like rescues her, and it's like such like a fairy tale-esque thing to like occur. Well, maybe not the killing part, but you know, the prince saving the princess, but he's not actually the prince. I mean, he's the Prince of Hearts. So moving forward, I don't know if I said this before, but Jax did give her a dagger when this like event occurred and he like saved her. Gave her, I think it's his dagger, and it like jogged a memory. And then what's happening in this past like 50 pages is that this hunt is occurring. It's like special event that's held I think like every year, and these people gather around and they go into this forest called the Cursed Forest, and they go and search for a unicorn. And supposedly there actually isn't any unicorns left, but if you do or did find the unicorn, you were granted like a half wish, because now since there's no unicorns left, there's like people who can like volunteer to like become the unicorn, just like put on a costume. If they find the unicorn, then they get this like amount of like gold and treasures and everything like that. So Apollo was off going to do that. Evangeline is in the castle because of that whole thing that happened with like the man that tried to kill her, and Jax like came into the room and saved her, and then they start to like form like a connection. She's trying to get back her memories by like doing things that could like jog her brain and make her work for these memories. And then from the Daily Rumor, there is a picture of Jax in the newspaper article, and Evangeline sees it and she's like, that's the archer. And now, so she's determined to go into this cursed forest, go into the hunt, find Apollo, and be like, okay, just say something, like tell him that, you know, I found Jax, pretty much. To get into this hunt, you have to go into the cursed forest, and like starts raining and like really like terrible, and there's like signs all over the place like, you were almost there, you are like danger or whatever. But then as soon as you get there, it's like, welcome, and you're gonna have like the best day of your life, because when you get to this place, you are taken back to like the best day, but it's like a mind game. So you have this illusion of your best day in your entire life, but what you're searching for never actually shows up. Alright, so when she gets through this forest, Aurora Vale, the daughter of Lady in the Lord Vale, comes and finds her, and Evangeline's like, I need to find Apollo, I need to tell him something and it's urgent. She's like, okay, come with me. And Lord Bellflower comes to her and she's like, actually I saw Apollo go this way, the opposite direction. Aurora is lying. And then I'm like, okay, who am I trusting right now? Am I trusting Aurora or am I trusting this guy? And then Evangeline is like, okay, we'll split up. One of my guards goes with Aurora, one of my guards goes with me and the Bellflower guy. So she goes with that guy. They start to go through the woods and they kind of just like stop, and he says something and he turns around and throws a knife at her guard and kills him. And she's like, what? So he starts chasing her. Luckily she runs away, and this is where she runs into this like illusion of your best day, where she runs into her family's bakery. I'm pretty sure it's a bakery, or the house, I think it's a bakery. She's brought back to a birthday, and she runs in and there's like balloons and a party is going on, and her parents are like decorating, and she hears them calling for her, but they're also telling her not to come and find them. What this illusion kind of is, it's like a mind game, it's a trick. It shows you the day that means like the most to you, what you're looking for. You keep chasing it, but you'll never be able to actually obtain it and find it. So she's running around the house to find her parents. She's like, I can hear them, they're getting closer. Then the voices start coming from behind her where she was. She cannot get to them. This is when this man shows up. Every single time like a stranger comes up, I'm either like, okay, that's Jax or that's Chaos, which I think his name is like Castron, who was vampire that pretty much killed her in the Ballad of Never After. So every single time that he comes around, I'm like, ooh, this does not sound so good. The stranger is like, you knew me as Chaos, I'm your friend. You're not in danger, I'm here to help because a friend of ours needs help. Your help. He's about to make a horrible decision and you need to change your mind before it's too late to save him. I'm not here to hurt you, Evangeline. Then the archer, or Jax, is like, then why don't you get the hell away from her? I don't want you near her, ever. And he kills Chaos, but because he's a vampire, he will come back to life. The next chapter is actually Jax's point of view. Evangeline's like, I know who you are. You're a monster. He's like, I'm your monster, Evangeline. Got some little doodles there. And then he's like, okay, we need to get out of here before like he comes back alive. And then he also calls her little fox. She tried to pull away, but Jax held tight, nodding her hair in his fist and keeping his forehead pressed to hers. Please, little fox, remember. Two simple words, only they did not feel simple at all. They felt like falling, they felt like hope. They felt like the most important words in the world. And he's like, okay, we need to get out of here before he wakes up. And so they start to leave. And then Jax is like, okay, we need to get out of here before, you know, Chaos wakes up. And so they leave the building and they start to go to the end of the forest. They start to leave the area, and she's like, okay, where are you taking me? It starts to rain, so she knows that they're leaving the cursed forest, and they go to the Ye Old Brick Inn at the end of the forest for wayward travelers and adventurers. And there's a sign, vacancy, 1 bed. And that's pretty much where I am. We just got a chapter with Apollo, and they're pretty much saying that and then we get to Apollo's chapter, and he starts to talk about this like tree of souls that grants a human immortality. So I don't know if that he's trying to talk, so what I think Apollo wants to do is to get Evangeline to become immortal, because I think Apollo's immortal or not, I really don't remember, but he's trying to get to this tree so he can turn himself or Evangeline to become immortal. But Lord and Lady Vale, however, Lord and Lady Vale are also in the room, and Wulfric, who is the husband, is like, I was also a fool to plan it in the first place. The tree of souls evil. And then Apollo's like, sometimes evil is necessary. And then Wulfric is also like, there is never necessary evil. And then he's like, there's never necessary evil, there's only bad, poor choices. Then he's like, there's never necessary evil, only poor choices. And then I'm on to Evangeline's chapter, and we will see what happens. It is currently 11 o'clock. I do have 2 exams to take in the morning, but I don't have to take them till like 12 o'clock. They are both online, so I'm just gonna knock them out back to back. But I am gonna read for the next like hour, try to get up to page at least 370. That's like 40 pages. I would like to get to page 300, so it only leaves me with like 80 pages left tomorrow, but I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna try to knock out as much as I can tonight, because I've been loving it so far, and I really do want to know where this story takes us, because I do have questions, and I don't know how many questions are going to be answered in this story, so I will update you guys in a little bit. Actually, as before I start reading, I am gonna open day 11 of my album color. I've been saving it to do with you guys every single day, so let's open the next one. So it's a little bit later. When I made a little bit, it's 1 in the morning. And I've made some more progress in A Curse for True Love. Currently on chapter 36, page 301. So I only have this much left. So many things have happened. Most importantly, Evangeline got her memories back, which is so crazy. When Jax brought her into this inn and they got up to their room, he was like, I lied. I do wish that we could have a different ending. Goodbye, Evangeline. And he had this vial and it was like gold and glittery, and I don't know if he was about to like put her to sleep. I have no idea, but she pushed it out of the way and it fell over both of them. It like drew them closer to each other, and she found this note that he was holding from her. It was a note that she wrote to herself, I think back to the first book, and it was like all folded, and it was pretty much just saying that in the first, like, dear Evangeline, eventually you'll see him again, and when you do not be fooled by him. And she read it, and then all of a sudden her words, or rather the words of the girl she'd been, and she wanted to be that girl again. She wanted to remember, and at long last she did. She remembered. She's getting all of these memories, and finally she wakes up, and first off there's his blood like in the room, and then when she's downstairs to the lobby, there's like 3 people dead. And Lord Garrick, I think the guy with the stupid crow, the crow appeared early in the story when her and Jax were going through the woods to this inn. Jax tried to kill it and she was like, no, don't kill it. He should have just killed it. I knew something bad was gonna happen when that bird appeared. So they appear, and then Apollo appears. Nobody else knows that her memories came back. She's doing everything in her power to show that, you know, she doesn't have her memories anymore. She actually slaps Apollo across the face, and it was so funny. Apollo was there, she could hear him striding up beside her. Then she felt the brush of his hand on the small of her back. Evangeline spun to the side and slapped him hard across the face. That was the last thing I was expecting. Then Apollo brings her to the Marywood village, which is where all the Valors, but they call themselves Vale because they like changed their identity just so people wouldn't know that they came back from the dead. And then Aurora gave Apollo a note, and she said to like meet him in this certain like area. Then Lala, Evangeline's friend from the past 2 books, whoa, where do you come from? Like, how did you even know she was here? It was a little odd, and literally Evangeline just spills everything. She's like, this is what happened, I got my memories back. Apollo is a backstabber, so they're trying to make up this plan of what she wants to do. And she's like, or I could kiss Jax and he could finally see that he's not going to kill me. And Lala's like, no, that is the world's worst plan, because his kiss kills people unless it's his one true love. But supposedly he already used that kiss on another girl and she didn't die, but I'm pretty sure she like stabbed him in the back. Evangeline full-heartedly believes that she's Jax's true love, but she's also kind of scared. And so they make up this plan to like sneak out. They're one drunk. Lala goes behind her, so Evangeline goes out first, and she's like, maybe at this like lake pond. She gets there and Jax appears, but he's being very odd, and he calls her pet. This has to be fake. This is not Jax. This is not the Jax we all know and love and hate. And then Chaos appears and he's like, he's not safe right now, you need to back away from him. And then Jax is like, I'm not giving up, I'm trying to give the girl what she wants. He's trying to kiss her and she didn't even say anything. Going back for a second, when she was in the inn and Apollo and Garrick and everyone came, there was this mysterious cuff on her hand. It was like a glass cuff, it had like cherry blossoms on it. When Apollo like hugged her, it hurt him. She's like, oh my god, what's going on? She has no idea. And then she saw for a second that the cuff glowed and it had like writing on it. And then when Jax was about to kiss her, the thing hurt him. So at first I was like, did Jax put this on him? But now I'm thinking not. Now I'm thinking it might have been Chaos, might have been like a vampire, where somebody is doing something to get Evangeline separated from both Apollo and Jax. And this is what I mean by, I think it was Chaos that gave her the cuff, because he's like, sorry about this, we need to leave before Jax tries to kill you again. And then we go to Apollo's point of view. This is the last chapter I was just in. He's with Aurora. He's like, where are you taking me? And she's like, to the Tree of Souls. This Tree of Souls, like I said earlier, can make you immortal. But the thing is, she's like, okay, if I take you to this tree, I need you to stop hunting Jax. I need you to put out this thing that Jax is not a threat anymore. He's gone. No need to worry about him anymore. And at first I was like, this is odd. And I remembered that Aurora was like in love with Jax. I was like, Aurora is trying to have a certain way to have Jax to herself. Apollo's like, sure. So she takes him to this tree, and then Aurora's dad, Wulfric, comes out and he's like, you better stop. Like, you don't know what you're about to do. Aurora does. And Wulfric says, there's always a price to magic, and to gain eternal life, another life must be sacrificed. In this case, you would lose the life of the one you love the most, which would be Evangeline. So this pretty much was, from what I'm getting out of it, a trick of Aurora. So that's where I'm at. I'm at page 300. Like I said earlier, that leaves me with a little less than 100 pages left to get done tomorrow. I honestly would love to sit down and read the rest of this book tonight. I'm actually about to go take a shower and get ready for bed, and I might read another chapter or two. I really want to know what happens. For the longest time, I couldn't really figure out where this book was going. It was around like page like 250 when she got her memories back. I'm like, what in the world is this another 150 pages are going to be about? And I just kind of thought the whole thing was going to be about trying to get Evangeline's memories back, and we're like a little over halfway through and she already has them back, and there's so much left. And I just feel like if that was the only plot going, and I guess now with like this whole mystery with the cuff and like Aurora and Chaos, can they really be trusted? I think not. I think they're working together. They may not be. I might be completely wrong. I was just very confused on where the story was going. There's starting to be a little bit of a plot being developed, but I don't know, something's missing. Also, some of the writing is bad. That is so hurtful for me to say from Stephanie Garber's writing. There have been like 5 instances where sentences have not made sense at all. I read them out loud. I read them over like 5 different times, and I'm like, what? And it's just a character saying a sentence. It's not like it's some abstract thing. So I did find that a little bit confusing and odd. But yeah, that's all I really have to say, like negative wise. Other than that, I am really enjoying it. Probably won't update you anymore tonight, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, so it's a little bit later and I have some exciting news and some sad news. I have finally finished A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. But wow, that was a crazy book. I really did enjoy it. I really do think that having that expectation lowered in the very beginning definitely helped. I do think if I went into this with the expectations that I had in the very beginning and all these expectations I had about it leading up to the release, I definitely think I would have liked it a lot lot less. So I believe the last time I updated you was when Evangeline just got to the Phoenix tree. She's waiting on Jax to like show up. He gets there, they start talking or whatever, and she's like, no, you can't do this. And he's like, I can't lose you again. And he said, once I want to do the right thing, I can't do this. I can't watch you die again. He does want to love her, but he can't because of the curse. And she's like, what do you mean again? So when she got her memories back, I guess she didn't get all of them. There's still some that are still kind of lost out there. And he's like, you died, Evangeline. I held you in my arms as it happened. And he didn't say goodbye because he couldn't. He didn't have it in him to say goodbye to her. So he just left. Then he heard her screaming. She's like, oh, now she's dead because of chaos. And that's what inevitably led Jax to using these stones to turn back time, make it so that she didn't die, but she did have to lose her memories because of it. Just as they're talking about this, and then 1 page later, Evangeline closed her eyes and kissed him. The moment that we've all been waiting for. The kiss happened. He's like, you should have done that. Oh my goodness, like, what did you do? Her legs give out and she like can't breathe. Jax starts like screaming. He's like, no, I can't lose you again. And Evangeline's like, don't cry, my love. It's all right. I already told you, you're the love of my life. You're mine, Jax of the Hollow, and you're not going to be the end of me. But you were dying. And she's like, no, I just forgot to breathe. Oh my goodness. At this point, there's still like 30 pages left. I'm like, what is gonna go on? Apollo has to show up and ruin everything. He's gotta be selfish and like, oh my God, Evangeline, you're mine, and I want you forever. She gets taken by Apollo and he brings her to the Tree of the Souls, which makes a person immortal if they drink the blood from the tree, but the one that they love the most dies. In this case, what was supposed to happen is in order for Apollo to become immortal, if he drank the blood, it would kill Evangeline because that's supposedly who he loved the most. So once they get to the Tree of Souls and Jax finally gets there, he is held back by these really strong people. I'm like, turns out the Valor children and Wulfric, which is the dad, shows up and he's pretty much telling Apollo do it. And also when Apollo showed up to take Evangeline, he plucked the leaf and burned the whole phoenix tree down to the ground. And he's like, I don't care about any of that. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. I was so confused because he has been dead set on like, no, Apollo, you cannot do this. It's going to destroy your life. You're going to be miserable. You're going to lose the love of your life if you do this. And now all of a sudden he's like, this is what's supposed to happen. This is what he's supposed to do. Are you kidding me? I hated every single person except for Jax in this moment. I'm like, you suck. We get to the part where Apollo's like, I'm so sorry, I have to do this. Everything's gonna be okay. So Apollo chops one of the branches off from the tree and all this blood is squirted out and he drinks the blood. And in this moment, I'm like, oh my goodness, girl, you're about to die right in front of the love of your life. But something which I honestly didn't expect. At first, Apollo felt powerful. He was like, I feel like a god. Then things take a turn for the worst. He's getting destroyed. He's dying. And he dies. Now he's another face on the Tree of Souls. The reason that this happened is because Wulfric knew that this was going to happen because Apollo loved himself than he did Evangeline. It's kind of how it ends. Evangeline asks, where are we going? And Jax is like, we can go wherever you want, little fox. And then we have this epilogue. This isn't the bonus epilogue, but just the epilogue is in a way of like, kind of like a fairy tale. The author describes Evangeline and Jax as the human girl and then not quite human boy. And it's just like these 3 pages. He's like, you can ask me whatever you want. And she's like, finally tell me about the apples. And he's like, nope. He's like, it doesn't matter, I don't need them anymore. So pretty much what happened in this bonus epilogue is that Evangeline and Jax get to the Hollow and they go to the inn for travelers, adventurers, and those searching for happily ever after. And they're pretty much putting the place back together. And Evangeline paints a sign that says, those searching for a happily ever after. Jax comes around and paints it, and for travelers, adventurers, and those seeking for unhappily ever after. And she's like, okay, why are you gonna do that? That's gonna make people not want to come to the inn. And then Jax kind of explains that, you know, it would kind of be like a curse. He says, people will come, they'll just be a little cursed if they dare to stay here. That's pretty much it. Alright, so I definitely did enjoy my time with this book. I really did love it. I didn't love it as much as the first or second book, and I really do think because we got Apollo's point of view and like, I did not like Apollo, However, a lot of people said that there wasn't that much Jax. I definitely agree with that, and I was a little confused on like where the story was going and where the plot was going. Other than that, I really did like it. I loved being back together with Evangeline and Jax, and I loved seeing their story come full circle, and they did finally get their happily ever after. These books are so magical, and like I've never read anything like them before that give off this true fairy tale fantasy-esque vibe, and I really do like that. And the relationship that Jax and Evangeline share is just like unlike anything else. I loved the tabs that you can see. I cannot believe that this trilogy is over. I do want to go back and read the Caravel trilogy because I read the first one. I just never got around to reading the second or third one. It's going to be like higher up on my TBR list. So let's go update my reading journal together.
On this night, this silent night, this holy night, we'll be together on this Christmas night. So take my hand and hold it tight. We'll pray for peace on this Christmas night. Oh my love, oh my love, oh my love, oh my love. We'll be together, oh my love. We'll last forever, oh my love, oh my love.
So I hope you enjoyed today's reading vlog. If you did, make sure to like and comment and subscribe. And let me know what other reading vlogs you guys would like to see in the future. I do have a few coming up for Vlogmas. So I hope you guys have a great day, morning, night, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
We'll be together.